Hello and welcome to Workhorse Wrestling Network. You are gathered with us tonight for the Cookout podcast where we talk about what's cooking up in the world of professional wrestling.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're here. A lot of things going on. But ladies and gentlemen, while we wait, is Anika coming today?
Yeah, she should be here. She said it was her topic, so she should be here.
Listen, and also for those who don't know, because I was trying to answer ALW while I was on mute. The horsey behind me, I made. Let me take the little thing off. The horse, put it up. I ain't said that. That ain't what I said. Okay, this right here, it's in many different forms, shapes, sizes. We also have this one. I don't know if I got it in the big blown up version, but we have one where it's the one where we had the mini horses.
Okay.
And then we had this.
Right. Okay. It's all the same horse.
No, different horses, and then this one.
Okay. Yeah.
Your girl was thinking long-term merchandise.
Oh yeah.
So we have many of those. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all want some merchandise, let us know in the comments, replay or not. Okay.
Yeah.
I can be like, hey, we got that Workhorse Wrestling Network stuff, okay?
I will say, though, that would look nice on a white shirt, and it's got the rainbow, praise God.
Yes. Yeah, you can get it. Listen, again, like the plug, I got it all for you, okay? You want the black version? There you go. You want a little sunshine, a little wholesomeness? You want to come out of the fire? You know what I'm saying?
4 horsemen of the apocalypse right there.
Yep.
Right.
Look, Beyonce, I got your Western Workhorse Wrestling there.
I haven't seen that one. That one's new to me.
Yep.
I haven't seen that one either.
Also, for a limited time, because it's going out next week, I can give you the nighttime seeing stars set. We have it all, okay? Hi, Ruby. That's my friend. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna start this out because your girl gonna get in and she's gonna get out because this is gonna be a hot topic, and I am gonna have my rant of the day. Okay.
I'm just a little worried about the seeing stars if we did that on a shirt. Like some people are, they got nasty minds. They might think it might be something else.
I know, and I'm sick of ALW. I'm sick of
It's
ALW.
that Lakers purple. It's that beautiful Lakers purple.
Oh my God. I cannot say. For people who don't know, that is one of my things that I revealed on my channel is that I have a I said disdain, but a horrible dislike and hatred for the color purple. And 99.9% of the people who channels I manage love the color purple, and I do it everywhere all the time.
It's my sister's favorite color.
It's a strong word for a color. Like it's just a color. What's purple ever done to you? Like,
most people see, look, that's why she do this. But for most people who don't know, as a kid looking at the color purple, I used to upchuck. And so I cannot stand the color to the point. My mom used to be like this, but now she's okay with it. I have not gotten okay with it. It makes my stomach ache. I can't stand it.
Bizarre. All right. Purple
Here
gang.
she go.
Yeah, purple
Here
gang.
she go. Right here. Spell it out purple. Look at here. That is messed up, Ruby. And you gonna keep going. You gonna keep it going. See, this is why you don't have friends like this, okay? This is why you don't have friends like this. Because they find your weakness and they just stab it into the ground.
Nika's getting her Bianca Belair on.
Listen,
I want to pull hair back and forth. Let's not do this.
Yeah, Anika, Ruby has purple hair, and every time we have to have meetings or go over stuff on her channel, I'll be like, purple. I bet can't do it.
And that's a lot.
Purple is.
I mean, it's sad that you have that visceral reaction to it, but it feels like it's putting a lot on the color. Like, man,
I can only imagine.
But
what you were
ironically,
thinking when
my
they came out
favorite
with-
movie is The Color Purple. I just don't like the actual color.
I can only imagine what you were thinking when they came out with the Grimace Shake.
Yeah, that was.
I don't even think I drank it. Did I drink it? I might have tried it. I just can't stand The Color Purple. Also, Wendy's, I don't know what you all did with that shake, but take it back.
Which one?
Oh, wait a minute. I also like Purple Rain.
How can you
I
not?
don't like-
Like, there's something wrong with you. You don't like Purple Rain.
You're saying stuff that's obvious.
But I don't like The Color Purple. Ladies and gentlemen, and I have to use it a lot in graphics. These wrestling shows, they love The Color Purple. And I'm like, why me, Jesus? Why me? And so we're going to get into my clown. Look. Oh, my God. Oh my God.
Wait. Before we get started, Purple Rain or Purple Haze?
Purple Rain.
Oh, that's a
Yes,
tough one.
Sammy,
That's tough.
I'll excuse
I would
you
say
if
Purple
it's a
Rain because I want it to be Morris Day and the time. It's still a secret thing in my household that for one Halloween, maybe this year, hopefully. Let's knock on wood. Me and my mama could be Morris Day and the time and she hold up the mirror and I do the dance. That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do.
I've listened to Purple Rain way more times than Purple Haze, but man, that's tough. Purple Haze is a classic.
Yeah.
I mean, a classic. I don't know. I don't think I can pick on that. I don't think I can pick on that.
And also, every
We
time
were
I think
drinking,
of
if you
Haze,
couldn't
I
pick, I'd
don't
have to
initially
take
think
a
of what
shot.
you're talking about, Sammy. I think of smoke floating in the air, and that's me.
I love Jimmy. Like, man, Jimi
Yeah.
Hendrix made me like Hulk Hogan even more. You know, back in the '90s in WCW, Jimi Hendrix was his theme music, and I was like, all right, well, that was pretty cool. Like, you become a bad guy and you get the coolest
Listen,
music
I
of all
dislike
time.
the Velveteen Dream only initially because he had came out with The Color Purple. I was like, what's up? But ladies and gentlemen, let me go take a deep breath. My clown of the week. For those who don't know, I covered this show. And I'm going to say my clown of the week is no. Okay. AAA, no. Bad AAA. Bad. Okay. And I mean bad. And the particular match that really struck a chord with me.
Was this Triple Mania? No, this wasn't Triple Mania, right?
Yes.
Oh, it was. Okay.
Ooh, Lord Jesus. Save my eyes for what I had taught.
Do they do it more than once a year? Because I thought they did
Yeah,
Triple
they
Mania.
do it
like
three
three.
times.
Yeah.
They do it three
Okay,
times
okay.
in the year. Like
Okay.
they separate the months in between.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, you might be saying, Dolores, but you ranted and raved about it last year. Yes. But this year must have been the comeback of problematic people. And some less than others were on my list, like Matt Riddle. Don't care. I want to say what I said on Seeing Stars. We had a match where somebody who has admitted to put white stuff up their nose, somebody who's jumped out a window, possibly because of some white stuff they put up their nose, and somebody who might have used some white stuff that made them punch people. Okay? All in the same thing. Okay? I thought this is a little bit too much. But what tipped it over the scales with me, ladies and gentlemen, was this match right here. The AAA Mega title match. Mr. Patron, I don't like to call him, defeated Nick Nemeth and John Bradshaw Lakefield in his corner. So we had Patron versus Fox News. Mind you, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't remember WWE back in the day, Mr. Layfield had a skit. I think it was during the time he was facing up with Rey Mysterio, where he was chasing people to get back across the border. Yeah, he took his happy Caucasian behind. See, I almost slipped. Caucasian behind over there to make some money for the same people that he claims every week on Fox News need to go back where they came from. Okay.
I thought that Nick Nemeth left the Curran White Caddy gimmick behind.
No. He still is Fox News contributor Nick Nemeth. Okay. And so listen, you can do what you want to do. But again, ladies and gentlemen, don't be coming out here being a fake and a fraud. You literally, in your gimmick, John Bradshaw Latefield, made it where you chased immigrants back across the border to now take your happy Caucasian butt over across the border to make money. Please make it make sense. If you don't make it make sense, anybody, somebody, you had all these problematic people, most of them in this match, some of them in other matches. And then my poor boy Psychosis at the end of the main event lost. It was a hair and a mask match. He was the only one that lost, and he lost his mask. Okay? I thought maybe somebody was going to lose some hair. I was waiting for it. But nope, that didn't happen. Ladies and gentlemen.
Was there anything worth watching?
No. Listen, I'm beginning to notice that older people, the older people like to participate in wrestling, and at a certain point, there should be an age limit. Hey,
Slim Jim, yo!
If you all don't know, Slim Jim is the best comic book writer that I know. Nice characters. I've ordered one of his books. So, ladies and gentlemen, yes, you had some matches that were okay, and then you go too long, and it's just like you're doing too much. And then you had some matches that should have never happened. Okay, I think that Mr. Patron won because Matt Riddle had won a title earlier in the night, and that was their way of rectifying that a non-Latino person had won. Which, again, you pick
it
Patron.
Doesn't really matter, but other than the problematic people included that have the baggage, was the wrestling match in the main event, the wrestling itself, decent at least? I mean,
it was decent. It was okay. It was NXT level. Yes.
Okay.
Oh wow.
I would say the reason why this was my clown of the week is because we didn't have to do this. We also had Jeff Jarrett, Satnam Singh, Raj Desi on this same show. Matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, while I'm sitting here, let me just go ahead and just jump out the gym. And we're just going to go over what made me so upset about this as a whole, but this show period. Because at a certain point, you have to ask yourself, why? Why did you do this? What was the purpose? What was the reason?
I would like to state that the THC inside of Matt Riddle could be Mexican.
Yeah. But he likes that he's admitted to using that powdery stuff. So maybe that was what fueled him to do what he did. I can't speak for the man. I just know he seems to have a lot of issues that he feels like other people fault. We had that's who won. For the AAA World Tag Team title, Raj Desi and Satnam Singh with Jeff Jarrett won. Okay? Matt Riddle defeated Commander and Laredo Kid for the World Cruiserweight title. Vampiro defeated someone who had Jeff Jarrett and Sam Adonis in their corner. And then we had Patron and Nick Nemeth with John Bradshaw Latefield in the corner. Make that make sense.
All right. Make it make sense.
So, ladies and gentlemen, before we leave, I just want to say to you all, I so much appreciate you. I'm going to be doing these clowns of the week, the graphics and the schedule from now on. But after next Monday, there will be no more seeing stars. Jesus, why? Okay. Because your girl got to go over her channel. J News will be my friend over there. But we'll come over here for special events. Hopefully we can get Anika and Sammy and AOW to, come on those special events so we can talk. Come on, Anika. You're going to be watching Capital Collision?
If those special events are after 12 o'clock that says New Japan, you can forget it.
No.
let's
You
not
can come for
get
the.
us so hot.
Listen, you can.
do that.
No, we review it on a different day, so you can pick a day. We'll review it with you.
That's still a no. That's still a
But
no.
you're gonna watch it on Friday, on
I'm
the
gonna-
30th.
When have I ever watched this?
You
And you're
have.
my
You
girl.
watched it when that time when we did it, where they had they were fighting over the Philly cheesesteak. I remember that.
That because Mercedes Monet was on there. Mercedes Monet goes back,
Mercedes
then
Monet is
we'll
gonna be
talk
on
about
this one. She's gonna be fighting Momo Watanabe.
Momo Watanabe.
5 days away from All In. Are we doing predictions tonight?
No, wait.
See, I'm no longer in control of that because last time I did that, you all went on a rampage and I said never again, never again.
Well, it is
That's the
AEW.
ALW thing. That's the ALW thing.
We got to do a rampage if it's AEW, right?
No, because I know 1 week. I'm trying to remember all the things. 1 week there's a show on Saturday. Okay, this is the thing about it, and I'm going to publicly say this. The day of Bash in Berlin, y'all gonna have to cut the Winter Circle short because Bash in Berlin come on at like 12:30. Okay, so I'm need to cut it down. Okay, cut it down. If I gotta run it, I will cut it down. Okay, we can't have these people.
Or we could just make it one long stream.
Hell no.
Nah. People gotta take breaks. They gotta pee. They gotta stretch. They gotta jump up and down. They gotta shake. Somebody gotta do something.
Okay.
Listen, I'm saying as a viewer.
Gonna talk now.
We are calling off the Winter Circle this weekend, right?
Yes.
We'll talk about it after the show. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, we will be having shows. We will be having pay-per-views. The 30th is a busy day for them. Is it the 30th? Hold on now. Hold on. I have to go back to stream, y'all, because I be forgetting what I set up, y'all. We have this month on the 25th, we have the All In Watch Along. On the 31st, we have before the 31st, we have on the 31st. That's when the Winter Circle happens. We have Bash in Berlin, and then we have Friday Night SmackDown on the what day is that? Let me check, ladies and gentlemen. Last minute trying to. It is on. Let's go up. It is on the 30th that we have the 4-way fight between TNA, Emergence, New Japan's Capital, Collision, and then Friday Night SmackDown and AEW Rampage. So all hands on deck. We'll be there. Again, like I say on every stream, shout out to CM and Baby CM. We don't call out names or genders. We just say Baby CM. Okay? So until then, ladies and gentlemen, what are y'all going to be talking about tonight?
Anika, why don't you tell them what we're talking about? It was your topic of choice this week.
We're getting this started? All right. So, what the hell, Fat? Y'all know I don't like that. Okay.
Go ahead, girl. It's your spotlight. Go ahead and tell us.
Wait, my freaking screen. You not do is catch me slipping, and my freaking screen is dirty.
We can see you clearly, okay, Anika?
A lot of boob in the face. Okay, one moment here.
You can't help that. The face always does.
But we can't help it. We can try to help it.
That's why my camera, ladies and gentlemen, is always up here. I want y'all to talk to me, okay? Talk to me. Don't talk to it.
That's what brings in the viewers.
That is not.
No,
it's not. Okay.
Yeah, it is kind of sort of because your segments be on fire. On fire.
No, they do not. That is
fire. Slim.
We be breaking 1,000 viewers sometimes.
Slim, did you come to see Anika or did you come to see?
We are not what to do is this. What we're gonna do not this. It's not. All right. No. All right. So here it is. Okay.
Go ahead.
Y'all come to see me.
I don't know. Okay.
Look at this
Right here
beautiful
in the
mug.
jail yard. AW is World Class Wrestling Network. I'm over here just my peak world. And a nigga down there, she got them jobs in your face. In your
I am
face.
not
In
happy
your
to see.
face.
We not so do.
All right. Tell us what we're talking about, Anika.
I don't know. Anyway. All right. So the WWE Fan Fest was last weekend in New York. It was a hit. Why would it not be? WE New York. That's it. That's stomping ground. Your fans would come out and do that, right? But one of the clips I've seen that did my heart good, right? So they were doing a little bit like, hey, January's Netflix. Rey Mysterio shows out one of their musical performers, Mr. Travis Scott. And Travis Scott comes out with a Rey Mysterio mask, dapping up Rey Mysterio. You can tell this is his childhood dream come true. And I'm like, you know what? I'm feeling a little nostalgic. So we're gonna be a little nostalgic today. We're gonna talk about who was that person in your childhood that makes you feel like that? Where it's like, oh, if I could ever be in a tag team with this person from my childhood, I want this person to be it. Who is that person? And then we're gonna fast forward to today, because there are some up and coming stars, but who today gives you those feelings, those vibes, like not the best wrestler, not the most popular, but who's that special person wrestler to you? Because like I want you to succeed. Emotionally, I'm gonna be pissed off if you lose. So let's go to the first start. Childhood memories. Who was that special wrestler in your lives? That got the engine revved up when you was watching either WCW, WWE, let's go NWA,
Dolores,
all
you
of
gonna
them. Who
start?
was that person?
You gonna stay and do it? You gonna stay and participate?
I'm gonna participate real quick, okay?
All right, go ahead.
First,
Give
you
us
go
yours.
first.
Because
Go ahead.
I have two people that come to mind. Two instantly that come to mind. One of them I now dislike with a passion that is built in my heart. Okay? So I'm going to step out on faith and I'm going to do this. As a kid, I used to love Johnny B. Bad, okay? That fake ass black man that was not a black man, okay? And when I said that motherfucker excuse me, that mofo was faking it, okay? I met him as a child. I thought my dreams had come true when I shook his hand and gave him a hug, and I was like, go ahead, Johnny B. Bad. To wake up as a 30-something-year-old to hear Mick Foley tell me he was a white Italian, it broke my heart. It shattered it into pieces. Shattered it. It shattered it, ladies and gentlemen. And from then on, I think he owes me an apology. Okay. Not only did he fake being black, but I met him and he sounded and looked like a black man. And so that's not fair. He fooled me. I was black. And I was like, that's another black man. I got to root for this black man. And he out here sprinkling and stuff. And a nigga, don't let Slim fool you. So I was
Hey, focus.
so that was a dream crush. As far as a young girl with the tinglies on the inside, unlike boys, we don't have an indicator when things are happening down there. But I would say that was here comes the money. Ching ching. Here comes the money. Money. Every time he came out there, he still is my husband in my heart. I called him my husband. I had heart attack. Yes, I used to like a little Shane. Shane can get it. He still can get it. Want a little chocolate in your life. Okay, Shane. Shane McMahon. And it wasn't about his money. It was the fact that he was young, had money, and seemed to not care. I was just like, listen.
That's hysterical.
And then he had some quote unquote hood friends, and I was like, you know what? Hallelujah, Shane. Hallelujah. Okay? The Mean Street Posse. If you don't know about that, better go find out.
Here we go.
Don't do me. Don't do me. He did. Listen.
I totally meant to ask a couple questions before Dolores. Well, at least one question before Dolores started. Anika, when you say young, like, are we talking like zero, like up through 10 years old? I mean, what age group are you looking at? Like when you?
We can do both. When I said, cause okay, so I did not be specific because honestly, the person that I'm gonna say was childhood through teenagers now. Honestly, like
See, that's shame for me. That's that tingle on the inside. Tingle on the inside. Listen, when rarely do I find a man, ladies and gentlemen, that makes that tingle on the inside. When you do, you gotta hold on to it. Hold on to that. It's good, as we said last month or Monday. It's a good man, Savannah. That's what we said about J News. If you don't go check out J News, it's a good man, Savannah. You better go find it. Okay.
All right, so before you leave, who's the person now that gives you the tingle? Who's the person?
Okay.
Favorite person? Who? What? Who?
She said it's still Shane.
Shane gives me the tingles.
A current wrestler who is wrestling now.
Okay, let me.
That ain't gonna hurt his tricep or ACL trying to do a freaking leap across somebody's body.
Listen, we both got old together. We're old couple, okay? We both got old together, okay?
My fluorescent.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a running joke, and this is a short on my channel. I wanted to be a wrestler when I was a kid, and I thought my thing was I was going to get on the side of the road while Shane was doing his move, and I was going to be like, I thought I was going to do that. I thought that was going to be me. Me. That was going to be me. I was going to sweep my hat to the side and be like, oh my God, Rex. Oh my God. I thought I was going to do all of that. I thought that was going to be me. But I think now the tingles, a lot of them give me tingles. I'm old.
Okay, your favorite wrestler emotionally. Let's
Cody Rhodes.
I know he's from Atlanta, but for real though,
it's either Cody Rhodes or Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns. Something about the slow motion, the muscles. It's just like, hey,
your voice is trembled like a rock.
I ain't having no kids, so come on, holler at me. Knock it in the hood, knock it between the wash machine and the dryer.
He got 5 now. He got 5.
Go ahead, knock my hand in the wash machine and the dryer. I appreciate that. Go ahead, knock it off. Very demure, very precious.
But yeah, my fluorescent ass is blacker than Mark Marrow is.
See, and that's why I'm hurt. Look at this man right here. That's Mark Marrow's true color. But for some apparent reason, he ended up wrestling looking like me. Matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna find a picture of Mark Marrow because I'm hurt. I'm very hurt.
I just pulled it up. You want me to show it? Wait, hold up. Because he had the tan.
Yeah. I don't like tans. I don't like going outside.
Put number 5 tan right there.
He does look a little like Little Richard in the face a little bit.
Little Cubano imprint. Yeah.
Listen, a little bloodline don't hurt. Hey. Listen.
All we know is that ain't.
Oh yeah, Trisha's still bad.
All right. So are we talking about like who we feel attraction for, or like?
I know Dolores went like.
Hey, we got 34 minutes.
Yeah, but listen,
that's a completely different answer for me than what I was gonna give.
Listen,
I agree.
Raymond, let me clarify something. Roman and Shane were good wrestlers, and they just happened to put a tingle in my spine. That's it. Okay? You can be both. You can do both. Trish is a good wrestler, but she put a tingle in his spine. Okay?
Well,
Trish and a lot of women had a lot of comment. I wasn't athletic, but them headlights, I mean, I want to be like Trish. That's what I thought. Like, oh my God. That's what I thought.
I can honestly say neither of the men that I was planning on naming put a tingle in my spine. So, to be fair,
They might if they hurt you bad enough.
I mean, we could but if you remember your first wrestling crush, you can do that too. We got
now we're adding the wrestling crush too. All right, so who wants to go next? Since we got Dolores old and new, Sammy, you gonna go?
All right. So when I was a kid, the wrestlers that
What age?
I was
What age are you
rooting
talking
for,
about? What age?
like 5.
Okay.
Like the ones that I remember like rooting for and being like, yeah, let's go, was Jushin Thunder Liger and Sting.
Okay. Now, to be fair, give the disclaimer. That was like 2005 because you're like 10 years old. So
This was
or
like
15 years
97.
old. Okay.
Oh, she's at 1997.
Like 97,
Yeah,
98.
Yeah, I was already like
Yeah,
30 then.
close.
So
Oh, ALW, the Elder Statesman. You want to go next? Go ahead, ALW.
no, this isn't fair. So well, Sammy didn't give his current. Are we just giving our old first and then
No,
currents? All right.
We'll do old first. Yes.
Oh man. So you got to remember, I am ancient, right? In 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks, I am going 3 weeks, I guess. I'm going to be 48 years old. So almost a half of 100. So when I started watching wrestling at 5 years old, probably, I would say from 5 to 10. And I don't want to say this because I'm embarrassed to say it, but the only thing that I can say is that I was a fucking Hulkamaniac. I know the dude's a terrible person at the moment, and I didn't know any better at the time, but I was a Hulkamaniac. I can remember being like 8 or 9 years old, and I'm going to tell this totally embarrassing story, standing or watching wrestling in my grandparents' house, and it was Hulk Hogan and Mr. Wonderful versus King Kong Bundy and Big John Studd. And Orndorff turned heel, and the three of them kicked the shit out of Hogan. And I was crying, and I ran to my grandma. Why'd they do him like that? I was sobbing. I mean, so I know that's how I feel now. But I mean, I got to speak the truth. So it is what it is. At that time, I didn't know any better. It had to be Terry from Tampa. So
Hey,
now,
you know what?
You were of the generation.
No. We're in a safe place. And before we knew Terrence from Florida was Terrence from Florida, I'll say this. Hollywood Hogan was my dude. I'm a real American. I'm like 2005. I'm like, why the frick is he in red and orange? Who is this dude?
For me, it has to be Voodoo Child Hogan.
Hey, I just want to say, F. Hulk Hogan, the man, the label, and the crew.
I agree.
That's why the man going bald and can't get his hair back since he was a kid. Okay.
No, honorable mention was Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat. They were all right at the same time. To be fair, you got to remember, like I said, I was old. We had very few channels. We didn't get to see wrestling on TV that often. So, the little bit I got to see is what it was. So,
my favorite.
Want to say that out of the three you just named, only one of them is not problematic.
My favorite story about Hulk Hogan is one of the stories that Hulk Hogan didn't tell. Well, because Hulk Hogan stories are usually fictitious, but
remember, it's the difference between the man and the character, he said on stand. Okay, because he like the two people. We want to separate the two people.
But so Vince had called Kurt Angle and Hulk Hogan to his office and told Kurt Angle to lean forward and stare at Hulk Hogan, and that telling Hulk Hogan that Kurt Angle is going over tonight. And Hulk was like, okay. Just Kurt Angle just staring down at him while Hulk Hogan sitting in a chair. It's like, man, I wish somebody was videotaping that. That would have been hilarious to watch.
There are many things I want to say to Hulk Hogan while we wait on ALW.
I'm here.
This will be
Bye,
first.
Felicia. Bye, Felicia.
And after that, I want to tell him he's a...
You raggedy bitch. You raggedy bitch.
And because of
I hate
that,
to say it, I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know who this man is. I mean, he could be walking down the street. I wouldn't know a thing. Sorry.
yep, that's how I feel.
All right, Anika, show us how young you are from your childhood. I already know who it is because you said it goes from my childhood all the way up to. We already know who it is, so there's no drama to this one.
I mean, what is there left to say? Even though I'm laughing at Dolores, I can't even hold you, friend. I can't even hold you. The person, the wrestler who made me be like, oh, I'm a girl.
Oh,
All right, there it is, Mr. Heartbreak Kid himself, Sean freaking. My oh,
That's what you be doing.
my
Yep.
God, like everything about him. Yes, yes.
Wait a minute, that
Yes.
Playboy cover, the Playgirl, play whatever, play something. It was play for.
Hey,
That's what it was. It was play for.
This is my time. Let me watch poetically this for a little bit. So
Listen, the closest we've gotten to that, and it's not, and ALW can attest or disagree, is that we have a new version of Shawn Michaels in GCW called Blake Christian, and he dressed exactly like him, but he looks like Andy off the Griffiths, and he goes around and he humps the title. He gets full thrust and like and I'm like, poor title, it's been violated, but he does his best. Shawn Michaels, the super kick, everything, he got everything down pat.
see, everybody trying to beat him, but everybody can beat him though. That's the thing.
Uh,
I need to stop.
And he's still cool. He's still out here with Sexy Red now. Also, I should get a clown of the week for that. But she's not a wrestler.
No, because that was months ago. What you're not gonna do is
No.
Yeah,
I'm talking about Sexy Red, and she got these new lips,
yeah,
lip glosses out, and the names of them. Some are like STDs and things that happen when you participate in late night activities. And I was just like, I can't imagine. One of them is called Sea Juice. You're supposed to put that on your lips. And her slogan was, "Put my sea juice on your lips." That's
right.
Yeah. At a certain point, like, I can understand the Sexy Red character. I feel her. Like, we together, we down bad. But sometimes I'm like, girl, you taking it too far now. Now, I was going to support you with the lip gloss, but how am I supposed to tell somebody who likes lip gloss? Oh, this sea juice. You go get this. Or N word that comes out of men. The real, the start with a G, ends with real. The lipstick that's like that, I'm like, come on now, girl, you're doing too much. Eat my behind. All these names of these lipsticks. I was like, come on. I can't walk outside with this on my lips.
I don't even blame her. I blame the manufacturer who actually made this crap. Like, really? Are we gonna
Somebody gonna buy it. Somebody gonna buy it. Yeah. Listen, if I ever do buy it, I'll never tell you. Y'all be like, what's this? I'll be like, it's pink.
It's cute. It's cute. Very cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Sammy, back to you. What is your news?
No,
All right.
What we not gonna do? Put him down. Who we not? Cause you don't watch poetically about Joe Dill. You gonna let me watch about my first person, my first love, he's my love. Okay, Shawn freaking Michael. We met in 1998, early on, late 1997. I was very mad after WrestleMania 14 because I don't be watching stuff the behind the scenes. And when he got beat, I'm like, boo. He's gonna come back. He didn't come back. I'm like, the freak? What the freak is going on? And he came back to have the best match ever in 2002 on SummerSlam. Probably, I'm sorry, that's arguably the best matches on SummerSlam. Point blank, period. And then
I just want to say that I love Shawn Michaels myself because he's not a generic
white guy.
He's not that, okay? He's not. He got a little. He got a little. Even though he found Jesus, he still got a little freak in him, and I appreciate it.
But you know what? Fast forward 2005, I love that feud between Hulk Hogan. He was like, y'all real life think because I'm a Christian I can't be a bad guy. Let me prove it to you. Let me show you what I still got this dog in me. I'm like, yes, you do. It's for the Lord though now. Now it's for the Lord. I love it.
And the ego of Hulk Hogan just thought that Shawn was just selling well, not that he was overselling. He was probably thinking to himself, finally, a wrestler gets of how they're supposed to sell to my punches.
Now, end it with this. He should have beat the freaking streak. He should have beat the streak.
No.
I don't care what anyone says. That was
No.
the best freaking sequence of freaking matches. Why are we bringing this up? Because dang it, why?
Cause he would holler at you, nigga. He'll be like, "Hey, nigga, how you doing? You want to come check out my title? Yeah, come on in. Come on in the room." That's what he was saying. That's what he would have said, to nigga.
No, real life. I'll talk to my sister.
Talk
He
to
lives
me.
in Florida.
I really wanna meet you. Can I talk to you?
I really wanna listen.
Let me lick you up and down.
What the hell?
So you shouldn't stop. Let me play with your body, baby. Make you real.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
Ladies and gentlemen, I always say about J News, he's a good man, Savannah, but men, that's a good woman, Joe. Good woman, Joe. Come out here and get her. She working. Look at her. She fine. She's funky. You can't tell her nothing. Look at her.
Joe?
Look at her. Look at her. Look at her.
Who's Joe? I flex. I'm like, who? What? Wait,
Joe Smoke out there. He got to get it too. He got to come on now. Come pick up my good sis. Come give my good sis. Also, Savannah, that's an okay man. Okay, he okay. He
It's
okay.
okay.
Okay. You want somebody to play video games and talk to? Call Sammy. Okay. Okay. Sammy is there. Sammy got the fire new wrestling shirts, the Deadpool shirt. He up here behind this brick wall. Listen, you got to go and check out Sammy, shorty.
All right, Madam Dolores.
My only investment is my hot sauce collection.
Listen, and he know
Madam
what a
Dolores.
season it is. Oh my God, KBB.
What we're not going to do is pimp out the fellow workhorses. All
No,
right?
I'm just giving them their praise and they shine. ALW, I wish I could, but you're married. You're already locked down. You're locked up, okay? I'm locked up. You won't let me down. Come on, ALW. Listen, I shout out everybody. I shout y'all out. When I go to my channel after this week, I'm gonna start screaming, "Hey, go check out Anika. Nika looking good up here. Y'all seen Anika?
What are we doing?
Go over to Nika page. Here go the link. Wow. Check out Anika. Sammy, you want to catch his socials? Here you go. They knew you already know where to find them. Here go the QR code. Me, I'm just chilling in these streets called the house. Okay? The house. And if anybody, especially somebody, see this, hey, it is what it is. What it is, what I'll start saying the H word. What's up? In them guts. Come on now. Put you up like you ain't big cut. Come on now. I want to say Georgia is lit. I don't know if y'all didn't know that, but tonight we showed y'all when we had Lil Jon accept the nominee by coming out there singing Friday night. Turned down for what? Listen.
I didn't see that. I did not see that.
It was like, Georgia, what is your vote? And he was like, it's Friday night and everybody's out. Turned down for what? And we were just going for it. Nice. Listen, they played Not Like Us during the California acceptance. So, I mean, you already know. Who are the activities? But I'm about to go because I'm gonna get chewed out, and plus I need to try to get some sleep, but I got some work to do.
All right. Well, thanks always for coming on. Thanks for doing your clown, and thanks for staying and participating. And
bye. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, if you have done something wrong, as they said, all in the videos, all up on Twitter. You've been calling people and saying the wrong things. If you've been a racist or beat somebody that is the opposite sex, call AAA. Okay?
Call AAA. I was wondering where you were going with that.
AAA. They got you. They got you. They got you. Just like the AAA, they picks up your car, they will pick up broken people. I'm telling you.
Whew.
All right, then.
All right.
Well,
Bye.
Coney ain't gonna give us no freaking interviews.
So I feel the need to separate my teen years from current.
You can do that. You can
Okay,
do
so
that.
you want to give a teen year too? All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So in my teens, like there was a lot of dudes that I enjoyed, but like Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Undertaker, and RVD. Those were 5 dudes that like I was hyped to see.
That's a good.
Yeah.
That's a great.
That's a good list.
girl.
That's a good list. That's a good list. I mean,
And
obviously, over my life, I've had a lot of different guys that I've been really hyped to see. I mean,
so teenage years.
I was. Wow, let me think about that. So I'm trying to think of what years those were. That was so the early '90s.
Yeah.
Geez, Louise. I I feel like that was kind of Bret Hart, kind of, because he. I mean, I was like, I mean, but that was even earlier too, because he was around a little earlier. I'm trying to think like it all kind of molds to it, all kinds of blend together until it gets to The Rock. It all kind of blends together, like, because The Rock was really the next one I can remember, like, be HBK and then The Rock, and then I liked them both kind of equally. Um, so yeah, I mean, yeah, those weren't really my teenagers. So let me think about it. I think, wow, that's tough. Early '90s. Yeah, I don't know. I have to think about that. You got one from your teenagers, Anika? I'm probably just Shawn Michaels still.
It was no, 'cause no, literally, it's crazy. Don't people when I hear wrestling fans say they took a drought or a little what you call a break from wrestling, I didn't get that break because in my situation, my favorite person was Shawn Michaels, and when he
Right.
left, even though I was devastated, I had The Rock and Stone Cold and basically the Attitude Era. So it's like I'm hurt, but I'm not going to stop watching. Then he came back, and that was from 2002 to 2010. So that I'm like, I'm not going to stop watching because my baby's on here, and I'm having a good freaking time.
Right.
And so teenage years, right?
I took my break. Alberto El Patron was the world
Yeah.
champion. And I was like,
So,
I'm good. Like,
like
I don't feel like they're going to give me anything that I want to see. So I'm just going to hop out. I'm busy. I'm like a junior or senior in high school. Like, I got shit I got to do.
but to that point, I feel like 2010 after my baby retired, that was probably I think I was still watching, but whoo, that was a rough year. That was a rough year. I was not paying attention to nothing. I was watching in hopes something happened, but nothing really happened. But teenage years, I would have to agree with you. TNA helped out a lot. Case
Oh,
in
yeah.
point, AJ Styles and Samoa Joe
Oh, and then you also had the women, Awesome Kong and Gail Kim.
and Gail
Like,
Kill. Yeah.
like if it wasn't for dudes like Undertaker, RVD, and Randy Orton, I wouldn't have been tuning into WWE at all.
Right, exactly, exactly. It was a very hard time for the women. So I'm trying to think woman wise. So
Because like I was all about the Legend Killer gimmick of like sending old folks through tables and shit, and I was like, damn.
right,
Punt kicking his
you
boss in the head, like
you crazy person, you can't do this. Evidently you can, but why are you doing this? What?
if you want me to team with somebody, that's who I'd want to pick. I'd want to pick Legend Killer Randy Orton, punt kicking people on the head.
So all right, so y'all know my crush and forever favorite person, but I think like the flip side of that was the person we talk about. I did put out the question of who I want to tag team with. Lita. Lita was the
Rita.
chick. I'm really pissed off when people talking about Trish Stratus because I feel like they're pushing Trish Stratus because she had the perfect. Per, don't get me wrong, She worked her way up. She did what she needed to do to be a great wrestler and a great character. But Lita was that chick. Lita was a whole freaking vibe.
Yeah.
I remember
Lita's
that-
only problem was she wasn't a model.
and even with that though, like she wasn't a model, but them pictures that was you air one if you was a teenage dude in the Attitude Era. You probably could look magazine with all the they were called divas, women wrestlers that were in bikinis, and she was working a bikini too. So let's not even act like she couldn't if she didn't want if she didn't want to be. But yeah, like she was my chick. And the fast forward to 2012, and I love this storyline where they had what's his name? Red hair, from 3MB. Uh,
Seth.
no,
I mean Heath Slater.
Yeah, and they're just they're like it was the 20th, like either the thousand Raw anniversary, and they kept letting him get beat by all these legend people, and it's like Lynn's music hit, and it's probably like yes, do the moonsault. Like, yes, emotionally, she's a tag team partner, and I love her.
So I think I have a different take, and I was a little, for a lot of years when as a wrestling fan, even when women first started to really come into wrestling, like into their own diva style, and the whole, like, even the switch over from the divas, about that time is when I started to kind of pay attention more, and then, the Four Horsewomen got me. That's when I really started to be like, okay, I'll give, I'll watch women's wrestling. Before that, I would fast forward. I'm not going to lie. But you got to remember, I grew up in the 80s when there was like 4 women's wrestlers and none of them were good. So, and even in my teenage years, there was like 5
Wendy
women wrestlers.
Richter.
Yeah, exactly. That was it. So we had Wendy Richter and Sherry Martel and Luna Vachon. Like, I mean, those are women, like, really, like, none of those women were making my spine tingle. Sorry. Miss Elizabeth was hot, but she was like already, like, I was young and she was old. So, like, it wasn't like by the time I was a teenager, 13, 14, there were no women in wrestling like that I was watching on my TV, because I was only watching WWE at that point. So there just weren't anywhere women. So, I mean, I didn't, and then now then you become older, and then they're younger, and now you can't look at them that way because now you're a creepy older guy, right? So it's like, so okay, so it is what it is. I mean, there are definitely women out there. I mean, Trish Stratus for sure. I mean, is one of those that I always found. Stacy Keibler, Michelle McCool. There were a handful that were always, the ones that everyone always, that they pushed as, attractive. Obviously, Sasha Banks is attractive. Naomi's hot. All those things. They're all too young for me. Well, I don't know if they're all too young for me per se, but you know what I'm saying. Like, so yeah, but and they weren't wrestling when I was a teenager like that. They were all teenagers or younger anyhow. So I mean, because they're all younger than me. You know what I mean? I mean, like, they're not all drastically younger, but they're all younger than me, and so they were all, so. But yeah, I mean, so teenage years. It went from Hogan, really, and even though I still liked Hogan, I was a Bret Hart fan, and then I was a Shawn Michaels fan, but way after the screw job. During the screw job, I was a Bret Hart fan. Like, I didn't come to Shawn Michaels till really after that. I think more kind of when he became more Heartbreak Kiddish almost. Like, he was the Heartbreak. He was Shawn Michaels and the Heartbreak Kid during the Montreal Screwjob. But I feel like when he took on Diesel a little later and became even more like flamboyant and stuff, that's when I really started to glom onto him. And Bret Hart kind of went away. So I switched to him naturally, and then The Rock came along, so I switched to The Rock. So that's and that's what that takes me through. I think like then I was about 30 at that point, probably 29, 30. I think when The Rock started wrestling, maybe a hair younger. I'd have to look, but so.
And it's crazy because even though like they weren't my favorites, but if you're it's very rare people who watch the Attitude Era and said they did not like The Rock or Stone Cold. And
No doubt.
I think it was just automatic. It's like they're here. It's going to be a good time. Like, personally,
What's interesting to me is that I was never a big Stone Cold fan. Like, you got to remember, like, well, you don't have to remember, but I'll tell you. I probably told you this before, but like, I grew up in a very liberal household. Like, my dad, my mom are like as left wing as you can get. My dad was a huge hippie in the 60s, so was my mom. I mean, all that stuff. They're tree huggers for all intents and purposes. So I'm very liberal. I'm as left as you can probably get. So like I'm already 25 or 30 when Stone Cold comes along, and he's a redneck white boy country dude I have zero interest in. Like, he's a total polar opposite from my ideology of what I believe in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know him as a person, but just his character. So like I didn't fast forward ahead now, I don't know, maybe he is too. At the time I thought The Rock was like, oh, my kind of dude on my fast forward now, we know he's obviously not, right? And he's been undercover for a while now. But at the time it had that air, like, and I was more of a John Cena guy, even, like, and that came a little later, but because Cena was a little more edgy and a little more, he was hip hop and he was more, and that's kind of where I felt like you know what I mean? I had nothing in common with Stone Cold. Like, I just didn't. There was nothing there. So I always, Stone Cold always left me cold. So no pun intended.
So were you a Taker fan? Because he always, like, I'm trying to get, like.
Yeah, I mean, I like Taker, but you know.
Yeah, besides Rock, I think Stone Cold's biggest rivals was the Rock, not even Mankind. It was the Rock, Triple H, and Taker.
Yeah.
And Kurt Angle.
I mean, I liked Undertaker. It's weird, like, you know, I had a weird in my head because I was younger. I didn't really know, and I know now, and obviously I started to know even then. Hulk Hogan was obviously a character at the same time. I think that's a lot of who he actually is, as a person as well. I don't necessarily think the Hulk Hogan character is too far off. I think he's one of those real first guys that started to kind of be who he was as well. He just exaggerated it. And I'm one of these people, and it's a weird thing. Like, when I love something, I take it way too serious. And there are certain characters that have come along that, in wrestling especially, that I was like, I can't stand that guy because I feel like they're making a joke. It feels like it's a parody of something that I love. And when Undertaker first came around, that's how I felt. Now, he grew on me, and I started to, as he came along more. But when he very first came out, and it was like the gong and the whole mortician thing, I was like, this is so stupid, dude. Like, really? This is really what? But you gotta realize I was like almost 30 or 25. And so I was like, oh, this is fucking dumb, dude. You gotta be kidding me. Like, so yeah, no, I mean, it took me a long time. And honestly, people hate me for saying this, and I know it's everyone's least favorite. Still to this day, my favorite Undertaker was the outlaw badass Undertaker on the motorcycle. Yeah. I like that way better than the Undertaker, than the mortician Undertaker.
If you did not sing that song when he came out, I don't know what you was doing.
Yeah, the American Badass was badass. I mean, that's my favorite Undertaker. So
I had to flip my hat around for that.
Right, but like, for real. It was a thing of the 80s people going to the Attitude Era, and it really was them begging Vince, dude, this gimmick stuff is over. We like no one is being a dentist or a Undertaker.
Mortician, exactly.
We have to be more realistic, and it really was great when they actually was like, yes, let's actually be somewhat real people while we're wrestling.
Yeah, yeah.
How you feel about Jesse Ventura?
Me? I mean, at the time, like, you know, I mean, I always laughed because he was a heel and he was funny, especially as a commentator. He was already basically done wrestling by the time I started really watching wrestling. I think he was already hurt. He was basically just an announcer. I mean, he did wrestle a couple times, but he was basically just an announcer. I saw him wrestle a couple times. But as an announcer, I thought he was great. And come to find out, he's, you know, basically a conservative guy anyhow. And I don't know.
I don't think he's conservative. I mean, he tried to unionize wrestling.
Yeah, well,
I mean, he likes hunting, and what's the other conservative thing about him?
I mean, I believe he ran when he was a governor. He was a Republican governor, if I'm not mistaken. So,
but it was Minnesota,
right? I mean, that doesn't necessarily always tell you everything you need to know, but I mean, you know, it is what it is. So, I mean, I always thought he was funny. I mean, I never heard anything terribly problematic about him like you hear about a lot of other people. So I don't know. And I would imagine as it does, it seems to always come out that if there was, it would have come out. So, you know, but so I don't know. I mean, I always liked him.
Where I live, like a Minnesotan Republican is a liberal here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So
All right. So let's fast forward to today. And this more so is what and more so I kind of want, I'm more intrigued about this question because we're all
Ooh.
20 and up. Like, I think our childhood memories hold really dear to our hearts, right? It's
sure.
like,
Yeah.
right? So it is kind of hard to recapture that feeling, even though we're still watching the show. Yeah, it's still entertaining, but that emotional connection is hard to find. Did y'all have
Right.
any emotional connection to a wrestler today in any company?
I do.
Um,
I have emotion. Go ahead, Timmy.
so I have a big list. Like in my adult years, like are we doing today or as an adult?
All right, we'll do 2000, the 2010s till now. We'll do that.
All right.
Well,
Well,
that's
then
fine.
I have to include Bray Wyatt then.
Say
Okay.
it.
Bray was one of my boys. And then you got the best wrestler alive today. You got Will Ospreay, and you have the best wrestler maybe ever, Bryan Danielson. And like these dudes are amazing. But then we move on to like who like I connect with. And so you got like John Moxley, Sami Zayn, Moose. Like these are dudes that have my full support. And like if they're in a match, I'm like, I'm rooting for them. Like I don't care who they're facing. If they're in a match, I'm rooting for John Moxley, Sami Zayn, or Moose.
Yeah.
Nah. Honestly, a great list. Why Moose though again? Cause
You don't like Moose, the
I
forever
think
TNA champion? I don't care if he's not TNA champion. He is the forever TNA champion in
I
my
don't
book.
like. I don't not like him. I just he hasn't grown on me to the point of okay, I'm not
Oh,
turning the channel when he's on the screen.
yeah. ALW, Anika was so surprised when she found out that Moose is covered head to tail in
I wasn't
tattoos.
I wasn't surprised. I wasn't shocked. I'm just saying I couldn't see them.
Like his body is fully covered in tattoos. Yeah.
I couldn't see them.
All right. So to 2010, you want to go, Nika? You want me to go?
I think you already have somebody, so you go first.
Yeah, I mean, I got two people off the top of my head. So we've
Okay.
asked us several different questions. The one person right now that if I could tag with, and thinking back about it now, well, there's actually two, but the one that has my heart is if I could tag with anybody, and I think I might. I'm not a fanboy at all, any way, shape, or form. I've met a couple celebrities, and I don't fan out that even people that I thought were cool. But I might, if I had a chance to meet Eddie Kingston or tag with Eddie Kingston, I might wing out a little bit. I might lose it a little bit. That's one. The second one who I'd love to wrestle with would be Will Ospreay. Those would be my two dreams to wrestle with. But let me tell you something from a personal standpoint, and I might get a little emotional here because this is real.
Take your time.
You, Anika, Dolores, CM, you can't hide, and I'm sorry for that. And I don't think you ever would if you could. You can't hide from who you are, your skin color. Jews, to a certain extent, can. And for a long time, a lot of us did. And for a long time, you couldn't outwardly say who you were. And still to this day, if my grandparents were alive, doesn't matter what they are, tattoos in general are bad, let alone anything that designates you as being a Jew, because we felt like we had to hide. We had that ability because our skin was the same color that we could hide, even though we never should have. And for MJF to come out and say the things that he says about being an ADD riddled Jew boy that got teased. I wasn't teased, but I definitely know as an adult now, I have ADD and I probably had it as a kid. And to be outwardly spoken about how much he loves being Jewish and how that's okay and how it's okay to say now resonates a lot. And that means a lot to me as a Jewish person. So I know he's a douchebag, and I know that I don't know what he's like in real life, but for me, that goes a long way. That means a lot. That's the person I resonate with the most as far as on that kind of a level at this moment in time.
No, I get that. No, and this I'm laughing because it's hilarious. My dad, again, y'all know I'm trying to ease him into AEW. He's like, so who's the person? Who's this person? Like MJF, he's hilarious. I'm like, so what should I show him? I'm like, literally, I'm like, either him in New York and his bar mitzvah after he beat, who did he beat for the title? He was like, I'm having a bar mitzvah. I'm like, I'm showing my daddy this because he's gonna be stupid as hell. And I knew, and he didn't let me down. He didn't let me down. I'm like, and that was hilarious. So yeah, no, I
Yeah.
totally get that. And I'm a segue because to that point, my two top people today I'm emotionally connected to is Naomi and Bianca Belair. And like you said, the same thing of representation is so important, and people don't understand. Like, what? Well, the best person. Well, how do you know they're the best person if they don't get a chance? And that's the thing people don't really recognize when it comes to any circumstances of jobs and opportunities. So, and it sometimes really is just instinctual. Oh, no offense, they're black. I'm rooting for them. Like point blank period. They're black. I'm rooting for them. Let's go. But it's one thing. It's different with Naomi and Bianca. I don't know why, but it's because they're just awesome. And I'll go with both. I'll talk about I talk about separately. With Naomi, I guess it's the thing about yeah, she's African American, but she's also a dancer, and that was my dream job until I was in 10th grade. I was gonna be a dancer, and then to see how she progressed, and then I remember her debut match. I remember, and it was on Thursday on what's the it was that good. The main event show that was on GWN, but they moved it on their back to the Peacock. But freaking what's the face? The Russian girl was playing in their face the fucking dactyls, and it's like, oh, we're actually gonna see Naomi and I want to say Carmelo so bad, but no, Camille wrestled, and Camille was good. And then she hot tagged Naomi, and it was like, oh my god, she's flying! And then how she flew, she like I knew I liked her, but now I'm like, what? Oh, that's how I liked her. She was the black leader. So I'm like, oh my god, she's doing hurricane riders. Oh my god, she's doing crossbodies. Oh my god, I love her. And it's instinctual. And then you fast forward to Bianca. She's she might be my spirit animal because she's so sweet. And it's like, yeah, she got the attitude, but when she turned baby face, it's like, I want you to succeed. And I remember Royal Rumble in my house, pandemic lockdown. No offense, no offense, whatever, offense taken, whatever you want to call it. That might be the best women's Royal Rumble. I'm very mad that I'm like, Dad, go to there was no fans there because 2021, 22, that women's Royal Rumble was so great. I could watch that again as many times. And then her and Rhea going at it. It's like, all right, we're gonna stop. We're gonna get back in the ring. We're gonna do this one on one, and then she whipped it. And then, as when Rhea went over that top rope, I swear I took a lap across the freak. I took a lap in the bathroom. Oh my god, she was! She's going to WrestleMania. Let's go! I was with my, I like, I fall down. I'm gonna let you fall down. I'm like, so I definitely feel you. Right now, those two are my chicks. Uh, honorably mentioned, and like they're definitely my top five. I do feel personal connection, but it's not because it's just they have an aura about them, which is Io and Asuka, where it's just like, who the frick are you chicks? It really is like where did y'all come from? Are y'all from Earth? It really is like y'all don't belong here with us. There's a special wrestling company where all the greats wrestle, and y'all should be over there doing something. But I'm glad y'all graced us with your presence, and I'm glad to know y'all because y'all are awesome.
I feel like I need to name one more name now, since we're on the discussion of representation of like, for me, I felt like Kevin Nash. You got big, tall, blonde dude, long hair from the Midwest, raised by Christian parents with Native American ancestry, but like doesn't look Native American, but is Native American. Like, yeah, like I was always a big fan of him as a kid. Had his action figure, everything. Like, I feel like very strongly represented me growing up.
Nah, big sex like NWO, like top tier heel factions. Even Wolfpack was great, but like you really couldn't stop that duo. Like, yeah, I'm sorry, Big Sexy. I was mad 2011. He came to WWE. He died. I'm like, why did you dye your hair? You was the sexy super wolf for how long? And they who told you to dye your hair? This is stupid. Go back to grandpa punch you in your face. I'm so serious.
So this brings to mind a question that I have, and I know it's a little, it's not quite apples to oranges because he wasn't doing the exact same stuff. But are you a Shawn Michaels Diesel fan or a Scott Hall Kevin Nash fan?
Who? Me?
I'm just saying in general. Where did you guys like him better, or do you have a preference? I mean, he wasn't wrestling quite as much as Diesel because he was more like the valet. So I get it. But the Outsiders were tag team champions and all that stuff. So I get it. But there's still some comparison there. I'm curious which one you guys like better.
I loved him until the finger poke of doom. And then I was like, and then that pissed off my dad. And then we stopped being a WCW household. And it's like, damn it, Kevin.
Hey. So with Kevin, I did not witness Kevin Nash as Diesel. I watched some stuff because he was with Shawn, but I think I can firmly say that I'm a NWO Scott Hall fan, where I am a Diesel fan. But and I actually liked him in TNA more than Diesel as well. I mean, I think Main Event Mafia. I'm like, okay, let's go. It's like, dang it, stop letting people be in control because y'all ruin good things. But Shawn Michaels, I can say that I love every little bit of him. I like no, and like yes to that part too. But also when I was in college and I had to do freaking papers, I'm like, all right, earplugs in, let me go find wrestling. And when you go down the rabbit hole, you go down the rabbit hole. And this is when people didn't know what they knew what it was. There were too many restrictions now. When it was like someone posted the video, take them off. So it was one dude that was just posting all his old school stuff. So I'm like so like I said, I knew about we met me and HBK in late 2007 sorry 1997 1998. But when I was doing my papers and like, all right, let me just have something in my ear, I'm like, oh, 1995. Oh, when he was a rocker, I like literally, I'm like, when they did the bit where Stone Cold got ran over and Mick Foley, the commissioner, was trying to see who did it, and him and HBK had a conversation, and he dropped this line. He was like, 1996 was so good, but nobody remember 1996 because of the Attitude Era, and so it's like I never thought about it because I never seen it, but watching it back, I'm like, oh, he's got a point. 1996 was, and if you're a Shawn Michaels fan, you have to watch 1996 because that was a great time. Him versus Vader. Him versus Vader. Him versus Mick Foley. That thing was a banger. I realized that the Stone Cold match, WrestleMania, that was because of King of the Ring, 1997, 1996. I'm like, oh, and that ended in a draw. You had to run that back, and then I mean, hold up, they were a tag team, and this is hilarious. So yes, I can literally say I love every iteration of Shawn Michaels. I have a special match in my heart for every era of his freaking career.
So I would like to state, Finger Poke of Doom happened in '99. UFC with Chuck Liddell didn't debut in TV until halfway through 2002. So for 3.5 years, my household became a NASCAR house.
Oh wow!
Like I'm sorry, Kevin Nash, but like it's hard for me to forgive you for that.
That's funny. So I guess I don't know. I was probably mid-20s or so, and uh, ESPN in the middle of the night would show old AWA episodes, and you could see Shawn Michaels when he was like 19, and he's got like dark hair, long hair, and he is like twice as big
Chubby.
as he ever was in
He was so
WWE, like just swole, like.
She was sick.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's funny. Yeah, no, it's not. So I mean, I've watched Sean. I didn't watch him then, but later in life, I watched those back. So I've seen all of his career. I mean, I'm a big Shawn Michaels fan. I mean, as great as he was, and as much as he stood out, I do think that he suffered a little bit. I don't think he was overshadowed. I just think he suffered a little bit from having to share the spotlight with a lot of other really good wrestlers, often throughout his career.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
I feel like that's a great thing, though, because like you're lifting other people up too. It's not just a John Cena show.
Sure.
It depends on how good you are. If you're a Shawn Michaels, you're going to Shawn regardless. If you're who's the one that, all right, Dean Malenko, it's like you might need a little help, and thankfully you were with, and thankfully you got that help because you were partnered up with the not called the Rascals, but
what was their
Eddie
name?
Guerrero and
Radicals?
Right. The
Yeah.
Radicals. Thank
The
you.
Radicals, thank you. The Radicals, who you got a little bit of shine, but not to the point of being a huge star. So yeah, I do get that, but but in another time, if you're in a small town, they put a freaking. Sorry, I'm venturing off because you made me mad. Because to that point, if you're 1999, right? Freaking Attitude Era. They came to my hometown, and this is when they want to do an hour-long Iron Man match. Now, to the ear, yeah, that's great. But to Sammy's point, if you have more than one favorite person you wanted to watch, and but the half the freaking show, you just see two people. No, that's gonna piss you the frick off, and that's just stupid. And that made me mad as hell. I'm like, really? Really? So I ain't gonna see none of the tag team people because y'all want to do an hour-long Iron Man match. Forget y'all. This is lazy.
So
All right.
it's kind of crazy. My childhood there, my household went from NWO to Dale Earnhardt, and then for a year we was just like a vacancy because Dale Earnhardt passed away, and then Chuck Liddell, come 2002, became a Chuck Liddell house.
Oh, that's funny.
To this day, I still love Chuck Liddell. His whole back away and the other guy's charging at him like, oh, I got Chuck now. And then Chuck Liddell with that uppercut, and it's just, woo, where'd that uppercut come from? Knockout, boom. Like, just because it looks like he's losing. It looks like he's running away, and just boom, knockout. And I used to love watching Chuck Liddell fights.
I mean, I like UFC. I always thought it was, even though you couldn't get away with it for very long, the first, I think 3 or 4, where there was no weight classes and everyone just whatever, like those were some of my favorites just because you had like 200-pound dudes against like 500-pound dudes and you had a couple of fucking, you know what I mean? So it made it fun. But no, I mean, I think UFC, I was like,
part of me feels like if a dude wants to do that, they should let him. Like if a 200-pound dude's like, I can take that 250-pound dude. Like,
yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Like,
do you? Y'all are grown. They gonna control you behind. You're gonna get knocked out. That's fine. Get knocked out.
Yeah, but it's not. I mean, at some point, I teeter on the fence about when you protect people from themselves. Like, I mean, you're not. There's no way anyone in their right mind, and I know I harp on this, and I've used this analogy 1,000,001 times, and I use it one more time. In the back, in an alley, in a real street fight, no one is going to say Rey Mysterio has any chance against a Big Show. In fact, Big Show might kill Rey Mysterio just by hitting him in the back in an alley, because he's so much bigger. Like, so you can't just let a Rey Mysterio say, yeah, I want to fight a Big Show, because Rey Mysterio does, because he thinks he can beat anybody, I'm sure. So you can't let him just want to fight some a big show in a squared circle where it's actual real. Like that's not.
Oh,
You can't let that happen.
But I mean, come on, like Anderson Silva versus Daniel Cormier, that would have been an awesome fight. So what if they're like 30 pounds different? Like,
Sure. Yeah, no, I mean those are ones I don't have an issue with. I mean, when you're talking, under anything, probably 30 pounds or under, or 20 pounds and under. I mean, you're pulling, you're splitting hairs at that point, But I'm not
but
talking
like
the
the
more
weight divisions are
drastic.
like 20 pounds apart. Like,
Yeah, no, they are. You're right.
and
They are.
like
They are.
they don't even want you being half a pound different.
Yep.
Like I saw this one girl cut off her hair because she was half a pound more than the other girl.
See, while you playing though, that I was watching my wife and kids like, cause it's the ring. The ring goes at 3 pounds. It's 3 pounds. I'm taking it.
All right. So we've all said our original when we were kids. We've talked more about our teenage years and even our other years. And we've talked a lot about our current. So I think everyone's touched on current. Is there anything anyone wants to say about any other wrestlers real quick?
Did me and ALW have to do like crushes? Because like I'm struggling to think.
Like I told you, by the time I was old enough to have a crush, I think they were either too old or that I was too old and they were too young. No, I mean, not like that. Like I said, I mean, obviously Trish was always, I mean, I always thought Trish was hot. And there were plenty of others. I mean, I could get too into it. I could be Dolores and talk about spine tingling and all that stuff. But, I mean,
it wasn't supposed to be that, but Dolores started it, and like, well, Shawn Michaels, I ain't gonna say it.
What's interesting to me is that I mean, there's always been celebrity women that I'm like, oh yeah, they're hot, and I suppose whatever. But like, I can't think of anybody that was like anyone that wasn't in my orbit as a real person that I've ever had a crush on like that. Like I don't have crushes on people I don't know like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I could be like, oh, that person's hot, and yeah, I wouldn't mind getting to maybe know that person, but like, I'm not gonna just have a crush without actually knowing them to a certain extent. It is not who I am.
Can I name an actress instead?
You can name whoever you want, sir.
As a kid, teenager, whatever, I thought that Jessica Alba was quite hot.
Oh yeah. Yep, no doubt.
Very decent choice.
No doubt, no doubt. When I was a kid, but I mean, Bo Derek was hot. Raquel Welch was hot. I mean, there were a lot of women when I was younger that were hot. I mean, no doubt about it.
You had a good head on your
actresses. Eva Mendes, right now. Eva Mendes is one of those.
Ghost Rider.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Her, Salma Hayek, Sofia Vergara.
Y'all better people than me because my fantasy. I know my fantasy pop because I'm not delusional, but the fantasy was real. And then he got hurt 2004 by Kane, and that's when I first saw his wife slid in, and it was supposed to be like, oh, this is real. And my mom was like, but in my mind, it's like, oh, so that's her. Okay. Yes, he actually liked her. Okay, it's fine.
She's like, okay, fine.
All right. Well, it's almost midnight.
It is what it is, but
All right. So I guess we'll get up out of here. Let's see here. We'll put up the horsey if I can find it somewhere here. Here it is. There is our horsey QR code. If you scan that QR code, it will take you to Linktree, which will show you where all of our social media, everywhere we're active. We are active everywhere, so you can find us everywhere. If you're new here to the Workhorse Wrestling Network on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like on this video, hit the bell to be notified. The bell is really the best way to make sure that you stay in touch with everything that we're doing because you'll get a notification before we go live, before we air something, or whatever the case may be. So The schedule has changed a little bit, as Dolores mentioned earlier. Next Monday will be the last Seeing Stars, but we will still have Enter the Square Circle every Sunday, where myself and Sammy Joe are playing WWE 2K24. Then Monday next week, we'll be Seeing Stars at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. And then every Tuesday night, like you're here with us now, we are live for the Cookout. We talk about everything that's cooking up in the world of professional wrestling. 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 10:30 Eastern. Then we're back Friday nights for Friday Night Fights, where Anika and Sammy Joe watch Rampage, SmackDown, whatever else is on, and give you their live, real-time reactions and opinions to the shows as it's happening. Then Saturday morning, the three of us are back for Winner's Circle, where we review Raw, NXT, and Dynamite, and pick basically a winner of the week. So someone for the Winner's Circle. And then I think starting September, we'll be back for our Saturday Night Is All Right AEW Collision watch along as soon as CM's back. So I think that's it for the schedule. I don't think there's anything else really. Anyone want to say anything else? If not, I'll try to find the outro. Yeah, we're on all the socials. And let's see here. All right, I found it. Sorry. I had to find the actual outro. Is that it?
There you
I think so. Okay. All right. So, until next time. Peace.
go.